Any woman can feel and be empowering. Lots of times we find role models that gives us the power to feel inspirational. These can be individuals who implement change, just like the member of the Scottish Parliament for Motherwell and Wishaw, Clare Adamson.
Well, prior to becoming a politician, I worked in the IT industry. I did my degree in computing information systems. I worked in that industry for 18 years. So it's a very gendered industry. So throughout my career, I have been fighting for equality and for women within the workplace to be recognised for what they're doing. So that's always been really important to me. And now that I'm an MSP, I'm very keen to see that more women study and work in science fields. So I've done a number of pieces of work over the years to looking at gendered issues with science and teaching, subject choices for science, and whenever I can, I try and use that influence to help people. I also sit on the board of the Scottish Schools Education Research Centre, CERC, which do all the CPD for teachers and technicians, and advise schools on safety in science and their operations within the science departments in schools. And within that, they also look after young STEM leaders. So I'm also trying to use my influence to ensure that we're recruiting women to be young STEM leaders. We're recruiting people who are women in science to come forward and work with young people and encourage them to be able to do science in the future and see that as a career options for women. So from a personal point of view, what empowered me to go into politics was the knowledge that I had a career and a skill behind me, that if it didn't work out, I could go back to working in IT at any time, which I loved as well. And I think that's the main thing is education and skills. And if women have that confidence of a career or an education behind them, it makes them better able to make different choices in life. The worst thing in life, I think, for anybody is not having a choice. So again, I think that's about having a skill or a career to fall back on, to be economically independent and to be able to have choice in life through having skills. My own choice to go into politics, I was very, very privileged because I knew that I had a career in IT to fall back on and that I could go back to that career if things didn't work out in politics. Most people don't have those choices, so this is about education and it's about skills and valuing the skills that women bring to the table in the workplace. With all the controversy that's come out after a terrible Daily Mail article about Miss Rayner and Boris Johnson, and it's all over the press and the radio today as we're speaking about it, it's the very worst example of misogyny and the challenges that women face in going into a political role. And I may well have made very different decisions about whether or not to be a politician had the media and social media been the way it is at the moment, because it is absolutely brutal, particularly towards women. And I hope examples of what happened in the press at the weekend will, so wake people up to how misogynistic the world still is and how detrimental it is for women who dare, if you like, to put their head above the parapet. So we have to challenge that at every turn, and we have to make sure that what we're leaving is a pathway that's better for the women coming behind us. And unfortunately for politics, I don't think we're there yet. But that involves getting women to recognise the issues, but getting men more specifically to recognise the problems with men and misogyny, and actually challenging that at every turn.